Oh yeah, that's the new look right there. This was kind of a learning experience for me. I haven't really delved this deep into doing this sort of modifications, so there's a lot of it that I would do differently for sure, especially the way that I cut it, because I had to use a lot of sealer. It's all cured now, like I'm gonna be putting them in the car right away, but I'm excited with how well they turned out. Like it looks so much better than just the straight black that I had. Insert picture here. I love how much the reflector just kind of pops and then everything else is dark. I'm really interested to see what it's going to look like with like the brake lights, the tail lights, and the turn signals on, especially the turn signals because those bulbs are amber. With all that being said, I hope you enjoy. I hope to be doing more stuff like this hopefully soon. This was kind of a bit of a trial run for my headlights because I really don't want to wreck those. I will hopefully have everything more organized when I do the headlights, and I'm excited for that one too. I have a feeling that that one's going to turn out really good because I'm going to be doing like sequentials and everything like that. It's going to be pretty awesome, along with clear coating the lenses because they're a little rough on my car. I'm going to be doing this on my car, which is a 2006 Lincoln LS. I already have the taillights out. Don't mind the fact that the bumper's on the ground. And like I said, I've got the taillights out already. I would recommend that if you're going to be like tinting your taillights, you might just be taking them apart and blacking out the housings, putting them back in. You can use your stock bulbs, but I would recommend getting some LED bulbs. This is an amber, this is a red. I'm going to be leaving my little side markers, if it'll focus. There we go. Yeah, these little side markers, they're sort of a part of the tail light, but they're just kind of a reflector. So I'm not going to be doing anything on those yet. This is kind of a trial run to see if I like this style. The list of stuff that you're going to need, like a black or whatever color you're going to do if you're doing like a, what's it called? Paint matched housings. Then just get like your paint code for the car. For me, I'm just doing black because black kind of goes with everything. If you have clear parts of the lenses that you want red, there's this red stuff. I'll show you once I get it. But yeah, you basically just spray it on the clear part and it turns the lens red. And then if you don't have one, either rent or buy a electric Dremel. It'll make cutting into those headlights a hell of a lot easier than just chipping away with an X-Acto knife. If you're smoking them, like smoke, stuff like that, it's basically just what you have planned for your taillights. But yeah, I'm gonna run to the store, I'm gonna grab the stuff that I'm gonna use, and then I will be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. My desk is a little bit of a mess. Don't mind that. But yeah, so what I'm going to be using is this translucent black lens paint, and then this stuff right here, the red paint that I was talking about just a little bit ago. If you have clear parts of your lenses that you're wanting to make red, which I do, it's the little top part. And then for me, I'm using just black paint. Really doesn't matter what you're using, considering it's going to be hidden in behind a housing. I'd also recommend like picking up a couple little different sizes of good lord, masking tape. There we go. X-Acto knife, and then like I said, just a little electric Dremel. I went and got one from Princess Auto because they're pretty cheap. It was $60 for a whole kit that came with like multiple different bits that you could use. And yeah, and then last but not least, of course, your sealant, which I'm using E6000, as you can easily read that. Yeah, no, so E6000 just to kind of seal up the lenses, and yeah, that's pretty much it. At this point, I don't really have many videos of me doing any of the cutting or explaining as to what to do. But basically, you're just going to take your Dremel, and if you look right along the ledge of your headlights, there's like, you'll be able to see where the permaseal is. You're just going to cut right along the permaseal, and it's like black. I would recommend like a respirator in the videos. I'm not doing that. Do as I say, not as I do, sort of thing. Safety glasses, you know, the whole shebang. Dust is going to go kind of everywhere. I did it right at my desk. It actually wasn't all that bad. So if you're using one of these, it won't kick up too much. It'll just kind of like melt it together. Thankfully, it's plastic, so you have that ability that it's just going to kind of melt it instead of throwing bits and pieces everywhere. But yeah, just I didn't take my time on this part, and I kind of made a couple little mess up cuts. So just take your time. There's no rush. Make sure that it cuts up good, because when you go to reseal them, it makes your life a hell of a lot easier. Again, major apologies for not taking a whole lot of videos. I'm still new to this, so I'll get better, I promise. Yeah, so from that point, basically what I went on to do was I took my masking tape and I just masked off all the areas that I wanted to be black in the housing. I think I have a couple pictures of that right here. But yeah, no, so you just kind of mask those off where you want it to be painted. Do keep in mind that around the bulbs, you want to keep that chrome so it actually reflects out and it's not just a little light in a black box. It doesn't really do its purpose as a tail light or blinker or whatever the bulb is. So mask those off, make sure that that chrome stays chrome. But all the other stuff, like everything around that, it can be painted right up. Again, I probably have a couple pictures of what it looked like as I took it out, as I took the lens off, what the housing looked like, and like what the masking was. And then, yeah, you just spray that with whatever color you're planning to go. You do not just spray it. Don't do that. I don't know what I was saying in that video. You want to scrape off the chrome to the best of your ability. Like, where's my brush that I had? I had a little wire brush, and basically I just brushed off a little bit of the chrome just to give it a little bit of like a grit that the paint can grab to. Otherwise, it's just gonna fall right off and it's gonna look ugly. I had that happen to the first one that I did. Don't just paint it. Trust me, take the extra little bit of time that it takes to just buff it a little bit, hit it with some sandpaper or whatever you have. Really just give it a little bit of grit and the paint will stick and it'll be fine. Go for, oftentimes it's normally black. Yeah, from there on, I masked off the pieces of my lens that were my reflector, because my reflector is on the lens. That made it a little bit easier. Your reflector might actually be in the housing or be on the housing, so just mask that off if you're wanting to go for this sort of look. What I did, I masked off the reflector, and then for the spray tint, I tinted on the inside instead of the outside. So the outside of my lens is actually the lens, it's not the tint, which can peel off due to weather. Yeah, and then, yeah, this stuff too. If you have to, if you need to, if you want to, it's not a must for these ones. It's just kind of, you kind of go off of what you're wanting to do and what kind of look you're going for. And this is exactly the look that I was going for, so it works out perfectly. So right here I can actually explain a little bit more. So I put masking tape right over along all these little pieces right here, everywhere that you see the reflector. That's why it's so vibrant, because to basically explain it, when you're tinting the lens, it's adding film over top of it. And the way the reflector works is because it's got all these little different nicks and cuts into it, so it reflects light into different ways. And so if you put like a film into that, this was basically just going to become a solid piece of plastic, and then it would look like, well, the rest of the housing. But I wanted that awesome little shimmer that you get as it moves along. That looks really cool. And then I just did 2 very, very thin coats of this tint. Every brand is different, but I do recommend this one. It's pretty nice. You don't have to add a whole lot to it in order to get that dark look. Like I said, this is just 2 coats. It says it on the can, don't do more than 3, otherwise light is going to have a very, very difficult time passing through your lens. And then you basically just have a piece of plastic. And cops don't like that. I can tell you from experience. Again, my lenses were pitch black. They were next to impossible to see. So that's all that really is to it. It's not too difficult. It's pretty easy. If you don't have a perfect understanding, that's completely fine. I started this without having any genuine idea of how the hell I was going to do it. I actually was going to do clear lenses, and that didn't work because the plexiglass that I had was way too thick. That might be a possibility. I really, really like the way that looks though. So this might be the permanent that is on the car, because it looks awesome. It looks absolutely amazing. I couldn't imagine it turning out any better than this. Even if the clear lenses worked, I don't think it would have ended up being as cool. So the last thing that I'm probably going to do to them, just because my lenses are a little bit banged up, there's like, well, you can see there's plenty of little nicks and stuff just from it being an older car. If you just hit it with a couple, like 2 layers of clear coat, it'll clear it right up, and then your taillights will pop. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, there you go. That's pretty much it. So I'm probably going to cut to what it looks like on the car, as I haven't even installed them yet. I don't even know what it looks like on the car. So that's the long and short of it. It's pretty easy. It's pretty basic stuff. You know, the hardest part is cutting into those lenses and making sure that you don't mess anything up. But other than that, anyone can do it. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helps. Yeah, until the next one.